Okay, guys, I do a mic check. Can you guys hear me?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Hi, everyone.
Amazing.
Sounds amazing. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the space of W Connect SUI season final. Pioneers to Powerhouse driving SUI forward. Before we get started, I just want to get a few things done before I will move the mic to the speakers. Today, obviously, we have Max. He will be co-hosting and moderating this panel, and doing the questions. And there's also the other speakers, but I will leave that to Max. What I will do, my name is Gold. I'm from ConW, and yeah, obviously we all organize these cases. But what I'm going to do, I'm saying, guys, please, we just share the last post, like and share, help us get the message out. So we're going to get more listeners. And we're also going to give some giveaways, and we have red packets. This space, 100 people will grab some SUI. At the end of these cases, we will give a code, and then you can just follow the steps in the last post we just posted on ConW official Twitter space. If you follow these steps, you have a chance to get some nice red packet. And another one, actually, if you look to our post of 2 hours ago, we have a giveaway. Just follow that post, share that post, like it, tweet, I'm a SUI star, and you might be one of the 3 persons that gets 100 USDT. I think that's about it. I'm going to give the floor to Max and the other amazing speakers, and I would say, guys, enjoy the spaces. Max, it's all yours.
Great. Well, hey, thanks so much for putting this together. Really excited to be speaking with you guys today. Got a bunch of questions, but just want to introduce you guys a little bit. So we have Anady. Am I pronouncing that right?
It's Adani.
Adani. Okay, gotcha. You're the co-founder of Mr. Labs, but can you maybe tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey, everyone. I'm Adani. I'm one of the co-founders of Mr. Labs. We are the core contributors behind the SUI protocol. I've been in crypto actually since late 2011. And built a couple of companies in the Bitcoin space, got involved in crypto at Facebook before co-founding Miston with 4 very good friends of mine, Sam, George, Costas, and Evan. And SUI's been a chain that's been live for not even a year yet. It's actually not even 2 years yet. It's going to be its second birthday in May 3rd this year.
Great, amazing. And we also have Nisar. Nisar, you're joining us. You are the CSO of CoinW. Maybe you can introduce yourself as well.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me. And I'm looking forward to have a great discussion tonight and sharing some insights. And it's a big pleasure to connect with the community. This is a very good thing. So I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at CoinW and co-founder of Dubai Blockchain Center. Dubai Blockchain Center was the space of at the early stage in 2016, where we used to host the early stage of the adoption of the cryptocurrency. And I support blockchain and crypto adoption across the Middle East and beyond by bridging traditional finance with Web3. Thank you.
Great. Well, let's jump into the question. So I wanted to start off with Adney and Sui. It's really exciting what you guys have been doing. Low latency on-chain apps are really only just becoming possible now. And that's mainly because most layer 1 blockchains weren't originally built to handle like the speed, the scalability that these apps need. Many projects are trying to solve this. But at SUI, you guys managed to really produce some progress. Can you explain maybe some of the parts of your architecture or any of the factors that have really helped make like fast and responsive on-chain apps now a potential reality?
Sure. What you've actually seen in the last probably 3 years is the intellectual capital that's entered crypto has significantly increased. We've not had the opportunity in crypto to have world leaders in distributed systems as a whole, and programming languages, security, cryptography, all come together for the first time. And that's been lacking in crypto, which is why you've seen substandard systems built that just don't scale or stand a test of time. Our team is very different. Our background is building at companies such as Google, Facebook, some of the largest companies in the world. We've built infrastructure that power applications for billions of users daily. That same approach to building highly scalable systems, and also our expertise in building fault tolerant systems, we're able to apply that to building SUI, which is why SUI is very differentiated. The architecture of SUI lends itself to what you're used to in traditional large scale big tech companies, where the whole premise is the more hardware you have, the more resources you put towards a task, the more output you should get out of it. Crypto doesn't work that way right now. In fact, you have more machines, it slows the network down, right? You can't scale compute, nothing's parallel, everything's sequential. We took the same parallel processing ideology that we employed in companies we've worked at in the past. The ability to scale workloads in a pipeline and do that in a parallel form. The ability to have a programming language that is safe by default, where the virtual machine takes care of all the safety checks that you require, meaning you write less verbose code, and you also have less prominence towards bugs. Separately from that, we have a system that scales with demand. So SUI in its current mainnet setup with the hardware can run at 297,000 transactions per second. We showed in an experiment in the paper that's published, if we add 7 times the hardware to SUI, you actually get 7 times the throughput. So you can go way above 2 million transactions per second, no increase in latency. It's just a scalable system. And no other blockchain does that today. Every chain really caps out at very, very low hundreds of TPS to some of the best ones. There isn't a system that can handle parallel workloads like SUI. So that's what lends itself. It's really the difference is the intellectual capital that's come from large big tech companies that can now apply itself in distributed systems in crypto. And I think we're only going to get better software and infrastructure built over time as a result of this.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, it's impressive stats. And another metric that I think is really incredible, something you guys have been able to do in the past year, it's becoming one of the top 10 blockchains just by the TVL. So maybe that's one milestone, but maybe you can mention any other milestones that you've seen in this last year, and what you're most proud of.
Yeah. So the great validator for the technology is always what has been built on the technology, who's adopting it, who's using it, right? That SUI is one of the youngest blockchains and the fastest growing blockchain in the market. So we've seen great adoption from institutions like Grayscale, Canary Capital, Franklin Templeton, Art Financial, VanEck. They're all launching investment products or initiatives on SUI directly. DeFi, as you mentioned, is flourishing on SUI. SUI's top 9 in TVL. It's actually top 6 in monthly DEX volumes, which is insane. And it recently surpassed over $110 billion in total DEX volumes. This is a chain that's less than 2 years old. I think if you benchmark SUI against other chains who've been around for a short period of time, even if you look at Solana, right? Solana was not pushing these kind of numbers in the early onset of the of launch. So it's really an honor to see SUI grow. And another area we're very excited about is BTC DeFi. We call it Bitcoin DeFi or BTC-Fi. We've had integration from some of the largest players in the Bitcoin space to establish Bitcoin DeFi. Similar companies like Babylon, Cubist, Redstone, Lombard, SaltLayer, and there's going to be more coming. So our goal is to bring um, more utility to Bitcoiners. Whoever wants to use Bitcoin beyond just holding it, you want to make use of it in DeFi, whether you want to extract some liquidity from it for borrowing purposes, or you want to do trading beyond a number of pairs. SUI is a place where you can trade a majority of BTC pairs that exist, and it's only going to grow.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's really exciting too, is just to see what's possible. New kind of business models, new economic models. I think gaming is a major growth driver for your ecosystem. But maybe if you have any like experiences or kind of these new in-game economy models or something else that's possible now that wasn't before. And I guess maybe the larger question is, how do you see this helping Web3 gaming kind of reach the mainstream audiences?
Yeah, I mean, a bit of history on gaming and crypto, and it's one of those things that's had a bit of a false start. Namely, you've had really poor games um, built by mathematicians, right? Not really games at all, but really economic systems that build a facade as a game, right? That have really irked people. And then you add to the fact that you have some studios who have done the wrong of, one, you're charging $90 for a game, and then you have the audacity to try and charge you the $60 for an NFT that has zero utility. So gaming has had a really poor start with crypto, and I think it's the wrong model to a large extent. What's happened with gaming is there's been an over proliferation of free to play models, and that was what grew significantly for the last, like, 5-6 years, right? And game studios are finding it very, very tough. There's been mass layoffs in the gaming space, and it's gaming is really crying out for a new business model, one that requires less cost to retain users, one that requires new models of keeping users engaged for long periods of time, that can allow people to be rewarded for the time they spent, and also the fact that you can play a game for years and then you end up going to zero. That's just no longer acceptable. So we're building a lot of primitives on SUI to onboard gamers into crypto with the least amount of friction. Chief among that is a few things I want to mention. Number one, SUI Play 0x1. This is a premium gaming handheld device with an operating system that we believe is going to power the majority of games in the future. We've been testing the device. It's been working really well. Games that you play typically on Steam run way better on a SUI Play 0x1. The great thing as well is you can play Steam, Epic, other App Store games directly on the device. So you don't, as a consumer, you're not having to choose between one operating system or one particular device versus another. It plays all the games you care about. And on top of that, crypto is in the background. So it's really an enabler for you to earn your rewards, for transferring assets, for buying and selling goods in stores, for using a stable coin for buying and selling assets and getting a reduction on fees. So all those elements are really what's going to come from a gaming point of view. We've built technology like ZK Login, for example, that makes it easy for you to just sign in with any account you already have. So if it's a Google account, it's a Facebook account, it's a Twitch account, you name it, you sign in and you have immediately a fully decentralized methodology of signing and proving your transactions. It is a blockchain that verifies your session with the said provider. It doesn't require any other middleware, which is a real cryptographic game changer from our perspective. So we believe gaming is actually going to grow DeFi exponentially. If you're looking at what's going to happen next year, I believe the amount of gamers are going to come into crypto, where crypto is really a powering force behind the in-game economy. You're going to see usage in DeFi that's never been seen before. But these users are not going to be thinking of, hey, I'm trading on a DEX or I'm using a particular user interface. It's underlying infrastructure. So they're effectively powering the experience using DeFi, and it's all under the hood. Users don't need to worry about, which DeFi protocol is powering my lending or my borrowing or my trading. So we think that's the biggest opportunity for crypto that's really largely untapped, and we feel SUI is well positioned to take advantage of that at scale.
Yeah, definitely. I have one more question for you before we also turn to Nassar. But as you mentioned, this kind of like behind the curtains kind of view. There is a lot of DeFi activity that's growing on SUI. Obviously the DEX volumes that you mentioned earlier, wallet activity. I mean, major stable coins are doing well. But I guess besides gaming, or maybe on top of gaming, what other kinds of use cases do you believe could succeed, like right now? Like when you look at everything going on in the global economy and, kind of a little bit of sluggishness in the broader crypto market.
Yeah, good question. So when we think about SUI, we always say SUI is a powerful ecosystem, or we have something called a decentralized stack. And what does that mean? People normally think just the blockchain is enough, but SUI ecosystem is more than that. So within the SUI ecosystem, you have Walrus, which is a decentralized storage system where you can store all the data and content you want. We now are launching Seal, which is going to be a post-quantum key encryption system for the world, where I can use, without managing keys, I can have my data encrypted on a public blockchain or on Walrus or any other system, and use that as a way to gate access to content. For example, in Walrus, I can store my files or my videos or whatever content I want, and I can use a smart contract to get access to it. We think one of the biggest untapped opportunities is actually the creator economy. So you now have a powerful scheme where, look, I can get access to my content using an NFT ownership. I can get access to my content using username and password. I can get access by some kind of form of a stablecoin payment or other kind of on-chain or off-chain interaction. We also have something coming up soon called Nautilus. Nautilus is effectively off-chain computation verified by SUI. So you'll be able to do off-chain oracles, off-chain gaming, and use a chain as a mechanism of verifying it using trusted execution environments. This kind of level of engineering and this kind of level of functionality is only possible in a SUI ecosystem. Now, why we're interested in all this jargon and why we're interested in building all this amazing tech is because ultimately the internet is broken. The internet is not built for a world where users own their own data and their own information. We saw this non-rent seeking applications. We can build a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity for the world. And that's what's really exciting for us. So we think creator economies are going to be shifted largely by the efforts of Web3 tech. We believe the idea that you can now own and store your files anywhere you want, but divorce that from some central authority that manages the keys for you is very important. Organizations like Google and Facebook no longer need to own your data. They can rent or borrow your data for a fee. And I think putting control back into the hands of consumers is where the world needs to go, and the world's crying out for it.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's, one of the, real like goals of the crypto industry, that really, resonated with me when I first started, and seeing the development towards that end is really great. Nassar, I want to bring you into this as well. Thank you so much to Adnei for kind of giving us
Yeah.
a little bit of a preview of everything you're doing with SUI. But to turn to W Connect, it's not just this online forum. You guys are really, building a strategic initiative by CoinW to collaborate with these layer one ecosystems like SUI. But I guess kind of we can take us back a little bit and tell us what inspired CoinW to really launch W Connect, and how does SUI align with that vision?
Yeah, sure, 100%. So W Connect is one of the CoinsW initiative to strengthen ties and drive growth across the blockchain landscape. So we identified a unique opportunity to bring our users closer to the layer one blockchain like SUI, and to spotlight the innovative projects growing with this ecosystem. So the main goal is to bridge the gap between these builders, visionary builders, who are working very hard to innovate and create new ideas and new projects, and the innovative users giving early stage projects the visibility they deserve. So while offering our community direct access to the promising development in Web3. So instead of these people going into different events and seeking startups and new projects in the space and trying to connect with them, here is W Connect to bridge this gap and put them together. So it's a unique platform that brings all together founders, developers, communities, and users who share a common mission, which is shaping the future of blockchain and DeFi and the digital world that we're stepping into it. So by connecting all these users with the SUI ecosystem, we're not just introducing them to new tools and networks, we are inviting them to be part of something from the ground up. So in brief, like W Connect is here to support the ideas that have the potential to transform the space, because with the right support, even small ideas in Web3 can become a game changer, and we're here to help make that happen with SUI.
Yeah, no, I think the kind of collaboration between an exchange and a layer one blockchain is really interesting. And when it comes to supporting builders, and I'll ask this to both of you, when it comes to supporting builders that are really developing kind of the tools and building out the architecture, what does a meaningful exchange layer one partnership really look like, and how are SUI and CoinW kind of working together on this front?
Yeah, so at CoinW, we're trying to redefine what means an exchange, because in this evolving market and digital world, plenty of exchanges all over the space. However, here, we're not just focusing on the exchange activities, which is related to the listing tokens or providing liquidity. It's about becoming a true partner in the growth of the Web3 ecosystem. And here it comes our partnership with SUI, which is very important, where we're creating a real value for both builders and users So through W Connect program, we highlight exciting projects in the SUI ecosystem, support them with marketing, with launching tools, and connect them with the global community. So our marketing team is very, very active, and they are expanding all over the space. So we have huge communities in Asia, in Europe, in North America, and the Middle East. So this will give a huge impact for both builders and users. So for builders, this means access to CoinW platform tools, audience to help turn these ideas into real products. And for users is the chance to discover new projects at the early stage, get involved with them and grow with this ecosystem. And the more exciting part of this that we are united with a one shared vision with SUI. And SUI platform, I would like to highlight on this and add on what Adinai mentioned, that it's built on a very fast platform and scalable infrastructure for the next generation of blockchain apps. So we're here to help to support this innovation and put it in front of our users and our community to bring the best for everyone.
Yeah, if I would love to add, like, look, spaces like W Connect are essential. It really helps expand the conversation. It goes beyond just trading. It helps foster new connections and open new conversations as well. It surfaces real builders and the applications, and it helps shows what's possible on performant platforms like SUI. So, you know, beyond just the trading activity, like enabling deeper connections with communities and engagement is very, very critical. And I think W Connect really, really focuses and indexes really well on that. And we're very, very proud to be partnering with CoinW on this.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely. Yeah, like I said, it's a very, very interesting to see this collaboration and, exciting to see, kind of the ecosystem really benefit from it. I have one more question, and then, I'll hand it back over. But just wanted to kind of get both of your guys' takes on just kind of the market right now. And, like I mentioned earlier, we're kind of seeing a slower, more cautious phase in the macro economy and, kind of sluggish momentum in the crypto markets. But what do you think is important or the most important to focus on to get ready for like the next big growth cycle? I think there's a lot of anticipation for the next kind of growth cycle. And what kind of partnerships do you think will matter most at this stage?
Yeah, look,
So,
so it's true that the market, sorry.
no, go ahead, go
So
ahead.
yeah. So it's true that the market maybe in a more cautious phase and the turbulence that's happening across the whole world, but this is for a very short term as we see it, and we see this a huge opportunity and strategic opportunity to sit back and focus and redefine our product experience and strengthening our partnership with builders and staying deeply connected with the community and listen to them and see how we can support them in a better way to be ready for the next bull run and the next cycle. So in times like this, the most important partnership are those built on a shared vision, aligned value, and real collaboration, the same that we're doing right now. And this is what we're doing actually with SUI, where both teams are united together, not just for only the technology, but for a common goal that we are building together.
Absolutely. I think you're going to see this year more proliferation of stablecoins and payment solutions. And I think this would be crypto's first global mainstream use case for both consumers and adoption, consumers and merchants as well. I think you're going to continue to see institutional products like RWAs, ETFs, ETNs that become more mature and become part of the global financial system. It's going to be a critical next couple of years. I think mainstream adoption is the key, is the goal. We have to go beyond just speculative endeavors in crypto and into things that really add incremental value to businesses and consumers. So that's our focus, and this is why we mentioned our focus will be keep on building on the decentralized stack and increasingly share of pie. Because remember, Web3 devs, there are maybe 20,000 to 30,000 Web3 devs, but there are over 9 million JavaScript web devs, right? So we want to get to that industry and bringing developers out of traditional Web 2 into Web 3 by the tech. A chain alone won't do that. You need a multitude of protocols and platforms to make that possible. Storage, coordination, you name it, trading, everything else that's required, encryption. You need it all to make people build the next generation businesses, and that's what we're focused on.
Yeah, and just to follow up on that a little bit, I'm curious to hear, what your community has been kind of saying to you, and when you're talking about supporting builders and bringing in developers from Web 2, from Java, what kind of things do you hear from builders that they need, and how are you addressing those concerns?
Yeah, so a lot of the things we build actually come from the feedback we hear from developers. SUI is the cheapest chain to store data on, but then it's still quite expensive comparative to like an AWS, right? And we heard complaints that ultimately, look, I want to store 10 gigabytes worth of data, but I don't want to store it on some centralized server, and I need to be able to build rules around access to that information. Well, a blockchain only goes so far. It does the payments, it can store small amounts of data, but when you're talking about gigabytes and petabytes, you need something larger. So we engineered a new network called Walrus to solve that problem. This came directly from developer feedback. And then developers said, well, beyond just storing public information, I'd love to be able to gate private data, or at least codify access to private information. And this is where we're launching soon something called Seal. It's actually in testnet already, where you can encrypt data and only those who are a member of a group can see it. So I can give you access to a file, I can remove access to a file, I can share content with you, I can remove content, similar kind of functionality you get from Google, but way more powerful because the rules by which people can view or access data can be codified in a smart contract rather than some arbitrary hard-coded infrastructure. So we're really hearing the conversations from developers, and we're building based on that. And the next thing will be quantum encryption, post-quantum encryption. We're working on that. That's going to be launching sometime this year as well.
Yeah. Sorry, Nisar, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, so I want to say that we're truly excited about this partnership with SUI, and we're here to support them. And we're very confident in the success that we're building together. I see it, this is just the beginning of what we believe will be a powerful journey together. And I would like to thank everyone who joined us tonight. It's really, we appreciate your time, your energy, and continued support for the community. Without the community, you cannot do anything. This is the best way to sit with the community, to listen to your community, and improve more and more on your platforms, on your partnership, and expand worldwide.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much to both of you, for answering my questions, for giving us, kind of an in-depth look at what your guys' partnership looks like and everything that you're doing. Thanks to our audience as well. I'm just going to hand it back over to Gold, our lovely co-host, to wrap us up.
Yes, guys, such an amazing spaces. First of all, thank you guys for joining as well. Just like Nassar said, me and Nazar are working very closely together actually on W Connect. I'm one of the persons actually that is leading the project of W Connect, and we're working on amazing things. It was not part of the spaces, but I'm just sharing it out there. And it's very nice to see what we have been doing so far in the last months together with TUI. And the partners like Cointelegraph, and I do want to say there's many interesting things coming up. The project by itself is evolving, and this is just the start. This phase is by itself, but many initiatives. I can say so much more about W Connect. Guys, stay tuned. You will definitely see even in the coming weeks with other amazing partners. And regarding SUI and Cointelegraph, our partner itself, I didn't thank you for being here. We are definitely going to do amazing more things in the future because this is the year to really to show what we are or what we're capable of. Guys, to the community itself, you guys have been waiting. Let's talk about the red packets, right? That's what you guys are here for as well. Simply follow the last post, how to claim the red packet, download the ConW mobile application. That's step one. Step two, tap the user icon in your profile. Step three, go to the red packets. Go to the red packets, guys, and enter the code. And yeah, what is the code? I think you need a code to be one of the winners. So I'm going to say the code right now. And it's capital sensitive. So please, it's W Connect and W and the C of Connect. So W and C is with a capital. W Connect SUI season, and SUI of course with a capital and season with a capital. There's 4 capitals in this code. So W Connect SUI season. I mean, you just need to know how you spell W Connect. There's 2 capitals there. SUI with a capital and season with a capital, and then you should be one of the lucky 100 winners. Um, that's it for it tonight, guys. Anybody has something to share? I'm all done for now.
Just want to
All
thank you
good?
one more time for having us. Yeah, this was really great. Thank you guys so much.
Awesome, guys. Thank you, Adine.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
Hazza,
guys.
and
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
all.
you.
thank you,
Take
guys.
care. Bye.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.